All right. You never know. So no,
Okay, so you're on. Go.
Yes.
I loved the video, and it was a really, to me, it was a really delicate video. I thought, the music and everything in it was very delicate. You were both very in the moment, and it was very poetic. So I'm glad I wasn't there for it, because honestly, that's just not what I do. I explain the why and stuff. So if you want to splice stuff in, you can do that. But first of all, I thought it was such a poetic line that SWARUP said about, this is the beauty of being a human. Like,
Yeah.
yes, okay? It's the complexity of the emotion and the spirit and the tangible and the physical. It's all that stuff. So I thought it was a beautiful line. But the only two things I'd add to it, but again, you guys said both things, so I'm not sure that this adds to it. But number one, I like to say pain is information. So your body, when it gives you pain, that is information. And so what happens is your body is looking to talk to you or get your attention. And when you give it attention, it lets go. So I will tell you, there's a very famous study where people had problems with their knees. And what they would do is they'd take, so they have this pain in their knee. They would put both people under, they'd slice their knee for the surgery. One person, they'd do the surgery. One person, they wouldn't do the surgery. When they came out from under the anesthetic, the person they did the surgery on now had a new pain in their knee. The person they didn't do the surgery on had no pain in their knee. Because the original pain was just information, and you cut the need to say we're going to do surgery, the brain lets go of that. It did its job. So pain is information, and I thought SWARUP explained that really well. So that's all I would say, is that when you're looking at pain, it's like, okay, this is my body trying to communicate to me something. If I address it, it will let it go. Yeah. And then SWARUP, the other thing, and he said this again poetically, is all of that stuff is in the origin of it is inside. The origin isn't outside. So what I thought Dorina did a good job was, when she felt that pain, she didn't look outside, she looked inside. And the SXA, training teaches you to look inside, not outside.
Exactly.
That sounds so simple to us, but I think there are people out there that when a crisis hits, they don't look inside, they look outside, they attack, they throw stuff, they do everything outside. So that's the value of the training, is everything starting within, and it's just communication. And I thought you did a really good job, Dorina, of doing the training, and basically focusing inside, focusing on the information, and then responding to the information. And and that lets go with you. So I thought it was beautifully said. I thought it was very poetic. I could sit here and do all the technical stuff, but I don't know that it was really necessary. So I loved it. I loved watching it.
Thank you so much, especially because it was so almost accidental. Like, obviously, there was nothing, it was not prepared, but the universe works its own way. It has its own way to work, and show us.
It just happened. It just happened.
It just happened. Yeah.
I like to, when people have a headache, I'll say to people, point to where the headache is. And they'll point. I do this in a class, but it's always funny. They point, and I'll say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is the headache? And they'll say, like a 7. And then I'll say, what color is the headache? And I go, what color is it? And they'll go, it's orange. And I'll say, okay, point to that spot and say, I have a headache, it's a 7 and it's orange. And they'll go, okay. And they go, I have a headache, it's 7, it's an orange. And then I look at them and I go, now where's your headache? And more than half the time they go, it's gone. Sometimes they go, okay, it's over here. And I do the same thing, and now it's a 3, and then it's gone. That headache is your body giving you information. If you respond, it lets go of the communication. It just wants to be heard. Compassionate, very caring, very patient, very, you guys are both comfortable with the silences. And that's a huge unconscious confrontation to everybody, is that, you know, he's just sitting there, he's calm, he's patient, he's listening to you, Dorina, he's not interrupting, he's waiting, and he's taking his time before he talks. And we both know he's a genius that's got a million thoughts, okay? And he's very passionate. But we want everybody to see, you know, what does he look like when he's doing his thing?
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, this is what it looks like when he's doing his thing. And it really, again, I've always thought he's the charismatic one. He's the one that people, you know, you should have him come talk at your presentations. You should have him come do this. And that whole episode just made it seem more like, why aren't we inviting him to something? So I thought that was another reason why it was a very good first video to set the context of what he's like. So.
Thank you, both of you. But you know, as you've seen, John, because in the training, because see, you know, because I'm wearing so many hats, and I've been an executive, I'm a CEO, founder, but essentially, so am I. We are mirror image. You know, like, you know, I'm a trainer, I'm a teacher, and Dorina knows I can listen. You know, I can really listen. That's my gift.
Actively.
I can. She knows. You know, I listen, I do not forget. I listen, I do not forget about my students. Okay. They may forget, but I don't forget. I can tell Dorina, you said this. So, well, maybe I'll put in a slide now because I'm still working on it. I will finish. I have the entire vision on the video, which I'll release tomorrow. So I'm very happy what I've got. So I'm putting in. So one of the slides I'll put in is passion is not enough. You have to add passion and compassion. I'll make the difference. Passion is you know everything about yourself, what you need, blah blah blah. Compassion is when you understand the other person fully and forget about yourself.
Yeah. Could not agree more, indeed.
Compassion only comes in when you just forget yourself and everything is about that other person. That is compassion. Everybody knows passion. Oh, I need this, I need that, blah, blah. Oh, you are a master in it. But why do you fail in compassion? It's because you have to make yourself zero to know the other person. When you are on the other person, like a mentor to a student, I don't exist. Only Dorina exists in this video to me, you know, at that moment. And that's how I do it. When I'm all, my whole energy is on that person, and you know, as a result, what is happening when I put this amount of energy and consciousness on the other person is the healing. The healings are, I'm becoming Christ, but it's not Christ, it's Christ-like. That's a Christ phenomenon, right? What Christ did. That when you are full of compassion on other person, you can heal the other person without touching them, isn't it, John? Tell me.
Right, and you showed it. That's the thing, is you can sit here and tell me this, but the thing is you saw it. That's what was like, it was like you saw that, this deep listening, this deep caring, and there is something happening that way. So yeah, you actually showed it.
And I'll tell you why that is, you know, that is how I am in all the 50 hours of videos. I have the 100 hours of videos in my training. In my training, I'm completely, because I know the first and the most important thing is people want to be heard. I mean, that's a treatment, isn't it?
Yeah.
This entire world not heard, to be listened. Okay, everybody's hearing, nobody's listening. So if the mentor doesn't listen, then I think there's no relationship at all.
And that's another reason why I can see Dorina taking over the posts, because you don't get that impression if you're posting. If you post, you're always initiating, you're doing all the talking, you're not doing any listening, it's all you. And so people can get that impression of you, versus the very first video, they see, oh no, wait, this guy, wait, is that the same guy who's doing those posts? Because this guy's listening, and that guy's talking.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I can see the way you're going here is, yeah, Dorina, someone else needs to be doing those posts, because when you do that, that is healing to people. It is.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a transition that I'm making, John, from the worldly life as I transform. I don't transform, I'm just taking off all the paraphernalia I built in this life, all the CEO, all the founder, all that shit, I'm just stripping them away slowly. But if I do it suddenly, a lot of people know, but you are the fucking CEO, what happened to your monk? They won't be able to figure out, because already there are a lot of people in my life. When I started into Y+4 in 2012, I've taken my time. My own dad, you see my sister, my own sister, or my people who know me in my lifetime. To them, it's like they can't add up who I am. They're still struggling. There are guys who work under me, executives. They're afraid to come in front of me. One guy's supposed to come to my house to see me. I said, "What happened? Where are you?" I call him. He said, "No, I am still figuring out. I don't know how to talk to you now." I said, "Why? What happened?" "I'm the same guy." He said, "No, you're not the same guy." He said, "I know you. I know you for 20 years. You're an executive. You're full of blood, rush, go. But you're now becoming like, wow, I don't know what, because when they come, I'm just very relaxed in my home and I'm just listening. So they say, they are scratching their head. Who's this guy? Like, they can't figure out. I know that. So that's happening to people who physically know me. But I'm taking my time to actually strip away and come out with my final avatar. That I am here, I can sit for 1,000,000 years in meditation, I can do that. No problem.
Right.
But,
Go on.
Sorry.
That what's happening, we talked about the flat arc, and what's happening is that you're moving to a position of responding. You're not initiating. What everybody used to see about you is you're initiating, and that can come off as you doing your thing and it being about you. And now what's happening is you're realizing, you know what, I get more energy, I have more, of things flowing through me when I'm in response. So if I can put myself, and you said it earlier, the zero, if I can put myself back here and let other people initiate and respond, wow, this always works. And so now you're not seeing the SWARUP initiating, you're seeing him always responding and always having the right answer.
She was brilliant, and I definitely like Dorina to take over the baton, in terms of initiating the course and and all that. And I will step back. That was my plan anyway, John. That I'm just unfolding my plan, as steadily. I want to be at a material level, intellectual and spiritual level, but the best place where I want to be palm is at the spiritual level. But I'm connected to all the levels, but I don't initiate, as you said. Yes, I respond.
Right.
You're right.
So you're connected to everything in response. So that's where you should be. But you got to find good people who know how to initiate. That's the tough part.
That's the only way that could be done. There's only one way that could be done is for me to train them myself. There's no other way, John, that can be done.
Right.
Yeah. And that is why I've been training very key people like, Xavier, then Dorina and Indrajit and other people. And other people will come. I'll keep on training. But I created training of people. This is the Excel coach program. They become licensed coaches for the world, for the legality. But I have only one law that I follow, my Heavenly Father's law,